Merry Christmas, clean freaks and filthy friends alike. Filthy Dan coming at you for another film discussion, and today, Christmas fucking day, we're going to be taking a look at the 1974 slasher, slasher grandfather, slasher precursor, if you will. That is 1974's Black Christmas, which was directed by Bob Clark, stars Olivia Hussey, Margot Kidder, and John Saxon. In a lot of ways, this film is credited as being one of the first slashers, and this is a debate in of itself, totally its own video worthy. But we're going to be taking a look at Black Christmas. So, for those of you who don't know, Black Christmas is about a group of sorority girls who are getting stalked by a madman called Billy, which may or may not even, in fact, be the man's real name. But he's calling them, giving them obscene and kind of directing into threatening phone calls. And you don't know if he's an escaped mental patient or just some local nutcase, but he's calling them and he's stalking them, kind of killing them off during the Christmas holiday season. And that's really the main plot of it, but there's a lot of layers in this film. One of which is really one of our it's our main character, Jess. She's played by Olivia Hussey, and she's a very realistic type of character. You believe her conflict. It's a very, very hard situation she's in. Aside from being stalked by a fucking maniac, she's pregnant but doesn't want to have the baby because she wants to kind of do things with her life. She still wants to actually get her life together before she brings life into the world. A very conflicting situation she's in right there. And with that in mind, she's not our typical final girl, where most of our final girls are portrayed as the virgin type. Jess clearly ain't a virgin, so that's pretty cool. You also get her boyfriend Peter, who he's a very well played actor. He's a musician, and that's adds a nice little what's he about to him. And he's pretty fucking furious, understandably so, when Jess wants to not keep the baby. And he's set up as a red herring. You kind of start to believe that maybe Peter is Billy. I really like how they did that, because he says something to her and you actually hear Billy repeat it in a phone call. So it's like, is Billy in the house or is Peter Billy? And another character worth mentioning real fast is Barb, played by the glorious Margot Kidder. And for those of y'all who saw my Amityville review, you know my thoughts on Margot Kidder, and oh god. But yeah, she's the fun-loving alcoholic friend here, kind of the bitchy type, but you know she's a lot of fun on screen. She brings a nice level of humor into the picture, which is pretty important considering just how dark this film can get. We also have Lieutenant Fuller, played by the late great John Saxon. It's just John Saxon being a badass cop figure in the film. Not really a whole lot to say on that. Also, Mrs. Mack. Mrs. Mack is another fun character. Kind of adds a lot of comic relief whenever she's trying to find her cat, and Claire's dad is there trying to get Claire, and you see her just trying to cover all these obscene posters in the girls' rooms and shit, and cursing at her cat. It's pretty fucking hilarious. The phone calls, though, my god, are those unsettling. Whenever Billy's calling the girls, like he's talking about, I want to lick your pretty pink cunt. I want to lick your pretty pink cunt and suck on my fat, juicy cock. It's like, what the fuck, dude? Like I may be Filthy Dan, but I'm not that fucking deranged. But shit, the phone calls though really, I think, are one of the things that this film is remembered for in a lot of ways. It's it adds something special to the film that, I don't know, I almost feel like Scream in 1996 would kind of take a little bit from this with that. Um, but yeah, the phone calls, I can't praise the phone calls enough, and I know everyone who's talked about this has brought those up. Um, Another thing that's really cool about this film is that we never properly see Billy. In fact, we don't even know about him. All we know is that his name may be Billy. He likes to make obscene phone calls that probably reveal a lot about the character if you break him down. Um, I'm sure that's actually I think where the Billy character in the remake came about. The 2006 remake was from some of the shit in the phone calls. You hear him talking about Agnes and shit, and it's like watching this film, you're like, who the fuck are these people he's talking about? But yeah, those fucking, it's just amazing though that with all the shit he puts in the phone calls, we don't know anything about him. And that mystery just makes Billy such an interesting character. And, he maintains the mystery that Michael Myers had in the first Halloween film. And, I mean, Michael lost his mystery by 1981 with Halloween 2. But Billy, despite the 2006 remake, he did maintain a lot of his mystery, which was really fucking awesome. Um, and I'm curious to see what Dave and Bruce have done with It's Me, Billy. See if maybe they've peeled some layers on the character. Maybe they've left him in just as much mystery as Bob Clark did. We'll see. Also, there's this little side story in the second act of the film about this missing girl who they ultimately find dead. But I almost wonder if Billy was involved in that, because if so, it just shows that Billy does not care at all. I mean, you could see by his actions throughout the film that he doesn't value human life. But if Billy is responsible for that little girl dying, like, there's a lot more to Billy that's just, again, shrouded in mystery, but makes him such a fucking, oh goddamn, a really unique character. I mean, again, because we don't know fuck all about him. But yeah, that whole little side story about the missing girl, that does add a lot of, I felt it added a lot of tension to the second act, because you get everybody out of the house and fucking got the whole search party out on town, so everybody's distracted. Everybody's distracted. It's a perfect fucking opportunity for Billy to strike again. Also, the point of view shots for Billy are really cool in this film, and a lot of credit to the guy who was operating the camera for that, because this is before the Steadicam was a thing. There's just something about the POV shots that really just make you feel like, I don't know, there's almost some tension from that, and it's probably just because we don't want to be thinking or sitting in the shoes of the killer, and the POV shots do just that. So it really unsettles us in a lot of ways. And also, everybody knows about this from Mr. Dave McCrae, who just mentioned doing It's Me, Billy. This film has a shitload of mood and atmosphere. It's got great atmosphere in the Christmas sense and in a horror sense, and it finds the right way to mesh the two to create the perfect concoction that gets us to Black Christmas. And this film also has a lot of iconic imagery and, like, just iconic moments that really stand out to a lot of horror fans, I feel. I mean, you have, of course, Claire with the bag over her head. I mean, that shot was so fucking iconic that they brought it back in the 2006 remake, having the girl similarly get the bag on her head, and that's just fucking vicious. And the shot of Billy's eye, I mean, that shot's fucking pretty iconic. And of course, him standing there like that, fucking shrouded in darkness. That's fucking great. Of course, the revelation near the end that the calls are coming from inside the house. The calls are coming from inside the house, very much like the urban legend. Um, yeah, that's just really fucking disturbing. Of course, you get the humorous moment when they're at the precinct and fucking Barb is trying to give the deputy, I forget his fucking name off the at the moment, but she's telling him that fellatio is the new fucking a new code exchange or some shit like that, and fucking all the girls are getting a kick out of it. And I don't know, it was just really, really humorous. And again, the phone calls are part of the iconography of this film. Um, I mean, there's a lot I could say about this film, but there's not really a lot new to say. But I have one thing to say that I don't think anybody's ever really thought about. If so, that's awesome, but I'd like to get this idea rolling and kind of get people aware of it. I think, and I don't know how, but I am fucking convinced that Billy is Ralphie or maybe even Randy from A Christmas Story from 1984. All grown up, kind of out of his fucking head. Um, and the main reason why I have that idea is because they're both Christmassy movies directed by Bob Clark. So it makes sense that one of those boys grew up to be Billy. Um, sure, that's disturbing, but damn, doesn't that make it fun to think about? I want to know y'all's thoughts on that one. But anyway, let's move on to the filthy features of this presentation. Now, as always, we start with the favorite kill, and my favorite kill of Black Christmas easily goes to Barb, and that's when she's getting stabbed with the fucking glass unicorn. And what I really like about it, a lot of you guys know that when I look for my favorite kill, it's definitely not just the kill itself, but the elements surrounding the kill or the build up. In this one, it's the elements surrounding the kill. You got the kids outside caroling while Barb is being fucking murdered, and you're just getting those two back and forth, and you can hear the kids caroling the whole time. Um, just I just love that juxtaposition, and of course the sheer brutality of the fucking kill. Also, I forget who exactly pointed this out. I want to say it was Jason Knight pointed this out, but I could be mistaken. But he pointed out that Billy never really uses a bladed weapon in this film. Funny that this is considered a slasher, because when we think slasher, we think bladed objects. But that's not the point. The point is the Barb kill is fucking awesome. Like again, the juxtaposition of the carolers and the sheer brutality of the kill that makes it stand out. I mean, sure, the image of Claire with the bag on her head may stick out a little more. Whew. But that death of Barb. Uh, so let's move on to the smutty sightings. Um, in Black Christmas, there's not really any visual smut, with the exception of a few of the posters that are in Claire's room. I think, in fact, um, you get I mean, Jess got fucked, so there's that. But the real smut in this film really comes through Billy's phone calls when he's talking about "let me eat your cunt, suck on my fat cock," like that's pretty fucking smutty, I figure, and it qualifies. Yeah, so the Billy phone calls are the smut factor of this film, really. Um, so anyway, in closing, Black Christmas, while a film that I don't have the nostalgia for that some do, this is one I really do fucking enjoy. It's like, and of course I may sound like I'm jumping on the bandwagon, but it's a great film. If it's a great film and we can understand and appreciate and accept and agree that it is a great film, that must make it a great fucking film. But, I mean, it's still no Halloween for me because I have the nostalgia factor there. But Black Christmas is one that I'm on board with, definitely recommending for people to watch if they haven't seen it. Especially if you like to dig through the fucking kind of dig to the roots of the slasher genre. You know, like if you're a fan of the 80s slashers, but you want to see what kind of came before and inspired that. Same thing with music. You know, you see and hear what you like. You want to kind of dig back and be like, what encouraged that? What inspired that? That road leads you to Black Christmas eventually. And Black Christmas really, for its inspiration to the horror genre too, especially the slasher subgenre, it definitely deserves all the praise that it receives. Um, I mean, there's so much positive shit I could say about this film, but again, I'd be repeating everybody's point that everybody has made. So I'm just going to keep it short and say definitely check out Black Christmas 1974. It's a bit of a slow burn, but it's a great fucking flick at the end of the day. Um, you're gonna leave the movie feeling a state of discomfort, hopefully, because this movie is pretty fucking unsettling, and again, I could just go on and on. So we'll just cap it off there. Black Christmas is great. You should watch it. And as always, thank you all for watching. Please be sure to like and share this video and stab the fuck out of that subscribe button if you haven't already. That'll allow you to be able to see all the filthy content that I have coming out. I know at the end of the year on New Year's Eve, there's going to be a great special video. Not telling anybody what that is just yet, but damn, will it be enjoyable? I can hope. I believe it's the 2nd of January, the Stream Demons episode 3. You're going to want to be there. We're going to be talking about the Splat Pack, so it's going to get messy. Make sure you bring your raincoats, ladies and gentlemen. And then Filthy with Fauci starts on the 13th of January, which is going to be fellow Stream Demon Matt Fauci and myself taking our own live show on the road. There's a bloody birthday review coming out soon. And with Nick Cooling and crew member, we are going to be doing a new show starting January 22nd, if I'm not mistaken, where we're going to be exploring heavy metal music, which goes hand in hand with horror films. So definitely be sure to check that out. Stream Demons, Filthy with Fauci, and Metal Thrashing Madness. Gonna keep up the great content for you guys into the new year. Thank you all who have gotten me this far also. And Merry fucking Christmas, stay filthy, and just want to know, should you humor an obscene phone call or change your number completely? Let me know what y'all would do. And again, stay filthy, everybody. Merry Christmas.